As a product photographer and editor, I was excited when AI video tools launched. Finally, we could animate our still images. But AI just turned my product photography book into alphabet soup. If you've ever used Runway, Pika, or any AI video generator, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Text turns into gibberish, logos morph into abstract art, and suddenly your professional content looks like a glitch in the matrix. There's a dirty secret nobody talks about. AI can't handle text, logos, or fine product details. Today, I'm fixing the most common problem: text hallucinations on products. Let me show you my exact workflow using After Effects' built-in Mocha tracker to rescue this fashion shoot. By the end of this tutorial, you'll know how to save any AI video with text artifacts, turning alphabet soup back into professional content. And here in After Effects, I will drag to Timeline the AI-generated video with text artifacts and the actual book cover. And now, because the book size image is not the same size as the video, I'm going to pre-compose by right-clicking on the book layer, choosing Pre-compose, and here in the Pre-compose window pop-up, I need to make sure that Move All Attributes to a new composition is checked, and I'm also going to open this composition. And now with the composition open, I'm going to right-click on the layer, go to Transform, and then go down to Fit to Comp. And what that does, it makes the book cover the same size as the composition for the AI-generated video. Now I will close this composition and return to the main file. And this is an important step for later on when we have our tracking data for this book cover to end up in a proper position. I have turned off the eyeball on the book layer for now, so we can focus on the video. And here you can see the alphabet soup that AI has hallucinated when the model moves her hand away and the book gets closer to the camera. And the first step in replacing this book cover is to track its motion, and we're going to be using Mocha, which is a standard plugin that comes with Adobe After Effects. So you can go to Animation and then press Track and Boris Effects Mocha. Now let's click on the logo to open it up. And the first thing I want to do is to switch from Essential Workspace to Classic. And this is because I want to have access to this Adjust Track option. This is not an easy track. It has hands moving over it, and it also has glare. So I anticipate that there will be some issues. So first we need to find a spot where we're going to start our track. And the best place to start the track is where you can see the image most in focus. And this frame is a great place to start. Next, I will come up to the top toolbar and choose an X-spline tool. With this tool selected, I'll create a shape around the book, and to get rid of these rounded corners, I can just pull on the handles. And this is a separation from the tracking data. To create the actual tracking data, we need to use the Surface tool, and this gives us a 4-corner surface, and I will take and align each corner with the corners of the book. And here I'm going to try to be as precise as I can. As an extension of the surface, we also have a grid, and this is the pink button next to the surface. And this is a great way to check if the tracking is accurate. So now everything is in place. Next, I need to make sure that all track motion options are active, including perspective. And because my starting point is at the very end of the video, I'm going to track backwards. Now, when I scrub through the timeline here, you can see that the points of our surface don't match up anymore. And I was expecting this, as I said before, because this is not an easy track. And this is where a Adjust Track option comes handy. So first thing, I want to activate all the motion options, and then bring Playhead to our starting frame. And this is where the 4 corners of the surface are exactly where they're supposed to be. We have some points options here, but to use them, we need to set points. Now that all the 4 points are set, we can select our points, and up here you can see the thumbnail view. And we can set this last frame as a reference frame. So this is the last place where the surface tool looks good. Now I'm going to scrub the timeline and look for places where the surface is drifting and manually adjust these points until there are no disturbances. And again, as I'm adjusting these points, I'm scrubbing the timeline and also paying attention to the thumbnail view here at the top. There is also an auto option that will attempt to line up your points with the corners, but I find that it doesn't always work well, and for a short clip like this, it just ends up taking more time. Let's hit play, and I'm pretty happy with the way this track looks. And now I can take this tracking data back into After Effects and use it on the book cover image. I will save project by going to File, Save Project, and close Mocha. Back here in After Effects, I'm going to twirl open tracking data, click on Generate Tracking Data. To apply this tracking data, I need to move down, and here I will stick with Corner Pin, and in the drop-down, I will select the comp that has my book image. Now, when I turn the book cover layer back on, you can see that it is precisely in place. And you can also see here, when I scrub the timeline, it is following the motion of the original book. Next step is to bring back the hand that is moving over the text. So I will duplicate this bottom video layer by pressing Ctrl-D, Command-D on the Mac, and bring it to the top of the stack. To mask out this hand, I will use Roto Brush from the toolbar. And before I can use it, I have to click on the video. Then I'm going to zoom in, and rather than painting, I'm going to start clicking along the edge of the hand and the shadow. And if I want to subtract something from this selection, like this letter O that got included, click on the letter, let go of the Alt, and continue selecting. And once I'm done making the selection, if I twirl the top video layer open, we can see that Roto Brush has been added to the effects. And here in the effects control, I'm going to add feather to this selection. And I want to do this so the edge of the hand isn't so harsh, and there's better blending between the two layers. Press spacebar to render, and now the mask that I have just created is applied. I'm going to let it play a few times just to watch this purple outline and make sure that nothing is really out of place. Next, I'm going to go back to our composition by clicking on the tab at the top of the Roto Brush window. And this is because I want to go and see what this hand looks like over the new book cover. So back in the main comp, I'm going to scrub the timeline and pay attention to small details and shadows that I may have missed while making the selection with the Roto Brush. And I can clearly see that there is part of the shadow that is missing at the top. So first, I will try fixing it by increasing the feather. Then go back to the Roto Brush editor by clicking on the tab here, and I will click on these small missing parts of the shadows to add them to my selection. Press spacebar to render, and return to the main comp. And now when I scrub the timeline, I'm happy with the way this top hand looks over the text. Next, I need to place this bottom hand over the book the way it was in original video. And also, I want to bring back some sheen to show that the cover is glossy. So again, I'm going to select the bottom layer with the original video, press Ctrl-D to make a copy, and then drag this copy to the top of the stack. Then from the top toolbar, I will select the pen tool and create a rough mask around the hand that is at the bottom. Then twirl the layer open, and in the mask properties, I will increase the feather to just under 800. I want a really soft see-through edge. And I can play with the size, shape, and position of this mask until I find the placement where none of the edges of the fingers and the book are being feathered away. And while I'm making changes to the mask, I will also make changes to the feather because I want this sheen to come through as natural as possible. Now, if I wanted more precision throughout the playback, I could manually animate this mask by first clicking on the stopwatch here at Mask Path, which will automatically add a keyframe every time I make a change throughout the timeline. And this way, there is a lot more control of what it is that I want to be showing or hiding during the playback. So as I'm moving playhead forward in time and making changes to this mask, at each of those points, the mask will be only showing what is inside the path, which means that throughout the playback of this video, the visible area around the hand will change. And you can see this animation by scrubbing the timeline. Now the cover is fixed, the text is fully readable, and let's just give it one final playback to make sure that we didn't miss anything. So this looks good to me. To export, go to File, Export, and then here you have a few options. I'm going to choose Add to Render Queue. Here in this dialog box, you can choose your render settings. And here at the bottom in the render queue, you can choose your codec. And next to it, you can choose a location on your hard drive where you want to save the file. Once those things are in place, you can click Render. And there you have it. Your AI-generated alphabet soup is now a professional, client-ready video. This Mocha tracking technique works for any text artifact, whether it's on books, product packaging, or signage. If AI video artifacts are ruining your workflow, subscribe now. On this channel, I'm solving different AI problems every week. And don't forget to check out my books and courses on product photography, including your visual DNA that starred in today's disaster-turned-demo. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, keep it simple and keep doing more of what you love.